Was your Tyler's back with the retro reviews here on Tyler's Retro Reviews with WCW Road Wild 1997. Last year I did the other two Road Wilds, 1998 and 1999. So there is that. August 9th at the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally in Sturgis, South Dakota. The biggest story going from Bash to the Beach, which was last week, to this, Lex Luger defeated Hollywood Hogan on the 100th episode of Nitro to win the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. But, Luger had this red hot run going from World War III to all the way to fighting Hogan at, well, it was supposed to be at this pay-per-view, but it still happened, but the roles were reversed at this event. That Hogan was supposed to be the champion going into it, and Luger was supposed to be the challenger going into it. But as you know, this was kind of the end of Lex Luger's main event push. This pay-per-view that I'm trying to say is. But that is all I have to say. I did watch the Bell Tours. That nothing else really matter except for the big world title victory before this pay-per-view, which was Luger winning the WCW title. It's kind of similar to, July 6th the following year when Goldberg defeated Hollywood Hogan for the WCW Championship. The only difference is than that one is Goldberg held it longer than Luger did the year prior, but still. And once again, I am a sucker for these Sturgis shows, even though they're not the best shows, but I like the location of it, the outdoor setting, and people saying they phone it in. The Sorry Show says hello to you. And you motherfuckers made me do that one. But anyways, starting off, a tag team match with Harlem Heat defeating as Booker T and Stevie Ray defeats Vicious and Delicious of Buff Bagwell and Scott Norton. It's a decent tag team match, and that's literally all I have to say, really. Jacqueline got involved in helping Harlem Heat win, which is that. So, yeah. A 6 out of 10 I'll give it. Then we get a Mexican death match between Konnan defeating Rey Mysterio by submission. This was a fine match. And Konnan, by the way, joined the NWO after Bash at the Beach and start this feud with Ray and yeah, it was, a solid match. A 7 out of 10 I'll give it. Konnan looks, him and this group, then again, NWO has a lot of fucking groups, members anyways. And 2 factions also. And an NWO 2000, which the less we say about that, the better. But still. Then we get an elimination match. Steve McMichael and Chris Benoit defeating Jeff Jarrett. A wild slap nut appears. Yeah, I know. And Dean Malenko. This was just kind of the continuation of the Jeff Jarrett Mongo feud from 97. Seriously, enough with this. So the only thing is that Jarrett basically left Malenko high and dry because he got eliminated by hitting Mongo with a jawbreaker, then pulls Mongo on top of him so he could get, so he had to get the ass whooping, and then Benoit and Malenko basically beat the fuck out of Dean Malenko, and Mongo gets the victory with that. Yeah. This feud actually ended at the final Clash of the Champions later on in this time period, and then Jericho goes back to the WWF after this. They were supposed to have a final match at Halloween Havoc, but then again, Jericho left WCW before that. And yeah, 5 out of 10 I'll give it. Then we get next up is for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. Alex Wright defeats Chris Jericho to retain the Cruiserweight Championship. Alex Wright won the title like a week before this pay-per-view, and yeah, it was actually not a good match. A 7.5 I'll give it, and there's that. Anyways, then we get Ric Flair defeating Six. This was just a weird match, but this is the next of the NWO versus WCW matches, and well, the finish was so bizarre. Like, Ric Flair gets out of the crossface chicken wing that I don't remember Shawn Waltman ever doing a crossface chicken wing. I know it's called the Buzz Killer, but I have no memories of Shawn Waltman doing a crossface chicken wing, but still. Then Six was going to do the Bronco Buster, and Ric Flair kicks him in the family jewels, and then rolls him with his feet on the ropes to win. Does that make any sense to you? A 4.5, actually a 5 out of 10 I'll give it, but what the hell, man? But yeah. Then Kurt Hennig defeats Diamond Dallas Page. This was probably the best match on this show, and you know, this what happened the prior month at Bash at the Beach, where Kurt Hennig left DP high and dry, and this was that, but it's not as good as their Starrcade match. But still, you know, it was, you know, that. Ric Flair got involved in this match, and this whole thing where who is Kurt Hennig going to be with? The Four Horsemen, Team WCW, you know, they're the same fucking thing, and the NWO, which we don't know by Fall Brawl, you know, Kurt Hennig joins the NWO, and that's not the Fall Brawl I chose with the War Games one, but you'll see that later, next month, rather. So, 7.5 out of 10 I'll give it. Then the Giant defeats Randy Savage. It was a match that happened. Yeah. It was okay. A 5 out of 10, you know, Savage putting over the Giant huge in this for 6 minutes, so I don't know why. Anyways, then next up is for the WCW World Tag Team Championships, the semi-main event. The Steiner Brothers of Rick and Scott defeats the Outsiders of Kevin Nash and Scott Hall by disqualification, so the Outsiders retain the WCW tag titles because of that. They should have let the Steiners win the tag titles here and not 2 months later on Nitro. But they didn't beat Hall and Nash. They beat Hall and Six. But yeah, what happened was the Steiners hit their Steiner Bulldog on Scott Hall, and then fucking Kevin Nash was gonna. The finish came when the referee Nick Patrick was gonna count 1, 2, and then Kevin Nash pulls referee Nick Patrick out of the ring. That causes a disqualification. And great match, bad finish, a 7.5 out of 10. I mean, I hate when they do that. And then finally, the main event for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. Like I said at the beginning of this, it was meant to be Luger as the challenger, fighting Hogan was going to be the champion. But we all know about that. The Go Home Nitro before this, Luger won the title, and fortunately this reign did not last long. So Hollywood Hogan defeated Lex Luger to win back the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. Yeah, it was probably the worst match on this show. And what's worse is they had a fake Sting attacking Luger. I believe it was Scott Hall was the fake Sting, but still. But Hogan hits the leg drop and he wins the title like that. This was I mean, the original was Hogan being Luger at this show, but they had to pull the trigger on Luger win the title before this, but I mean, this was the end of Lex Luger being a main eventer. And not got another world title win again until 2002. If you've never heard of this company before, I sure as hell don't remember this at all, but YouTubers done this. World Wrestling All-Stars. It was basically like a branch after WCW and ECW's closure before TNA opened their doors, and that's basically it. But still. I mean, they were going to do the Hogan Sting match at Starrcade, and then afterwards, they spray painted NWO on the belt. And yeah, a 3 out of 10 I'll give it. So, Road Wild 97 was, not bad. But, except for that main event, that was, and the finish of the tag title match. But still, you had a lot of good matches. Well, except for 3, but still. 6 out of 10 I'll give it. Next week, we're going back to the year 2000, but for the WWF, and it's fully loaded 2000. I mean, you understand why. And there, tomorrow will be my SmackDown review, and then Saturday will be the No Forgiveness pay-per-view, and there. Like this video, comment below, subscribe to this channel, and the notification bell, as well as my favorite channel, Tyler's Retro Reviews, which is this one, so subscribe to the notification bell on this channel also in there. Goodbye.